तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 26, beginning from verse number 11. Verse number 11. So these are teachings of Lord Kapila to his mother Devhuti, and he is speaking on the philosophy of Sankhya, which gives enumeration of Purusha and Prakriti and how Prakriti manifests in this whole universe. So first he gave a definition of Prakriti in the previous verse which we read, that Prakriti is that which is avyakta, unmanifest, consists of 3 gunas. It is eternal, it is the cause and effect relationship, and its very nature is in the form of cause and effect. That's why we have this Karnana ocean, or description of ocean which is beyond material world, called causal ocean, which means that beyond that there is no cause and effect relationship. Here in the material world, things are related as cause and effect, and we are used to think in the terms of cause and effect. But there is another realm of existence where things are haphazard, no cause and effect. Everything just happens by the will of the Lord for His pleasure. It's not haphazard, but cannot really explain why it happened. So that is Leela, that is the spiritual world of Lord Krishna. Time can stand still, time can stretch, cannot say why did it happen, or what is causing it. So we are of course more interested in knowing this place at present where we exist, that is being explained here. So Prakriti is also called Avishesha because it does not have any varieties in it. In the manifest state, everything is in the balanced state of the gunas, and all the variety comes from this. Therefore it is also called Visheshavat. And now in this particular verse it says Panchabhir Brahma Chaturbhir Dasabhis Tatha Etat Chaturvinstikam Ganam Pradhanikam Viduhu. He says that there are 24 things which come from Pradhan. So there are 2 groups to begin with, there is a group of Purusha and there is a group of Prakriti. Prakriti was also called Pradhana in the previous ones. So the manifestation which comes from Prakriti is called Prakritik or material or Pradhanik, because Pradhan is one of the name. And then there is other group belonging to Purusha, that is called Paurusha group, or objects which come from him or related to him directly. So he says that in this group of Pradhana, there are 24 elements, tattvas, Panchabhi, Chaturbhi and Dasabhi. There are 5, 5, 10 and 4. So 5, there are gross elements, 5 tanmatras or causal elements, and 10 are the senses, 5 cognitive senses, 5 working senses. Then there is mind, intellect, ego, and chitta or mahat. Those are the 4 internal senses. 10 external senses, 4 internal senses, 5 causal elements and 5 objects of the senses, gross elements. So that makes 24. And above this is Prakriti, which is 25th. And then there is Purusha.
How can be the 25th is all these are making Prakriti together?
Because they are coming from Prakriti. 24 are coming from Prakriti.
Okay.
Prakriti is the source. So
Music.
Prakriti is the 25th.
Okay.
So this 25 things, these are the material things. And then we have other group where we have Purusha, we have Jiva, we have time. Which we will explain. So there are 28 basically. So it says, commentary on this is that Anyasham tattvanam lakshanam vaktum tani ganayati. So he is going to give the definition of the other tattvas, and before that he counts them. And that is one of the reasons this philosophy is called Sankhya, because Sankhya means to count. So he is counting them. Panchbhir ityadi. Yabhis tatha panchbhir chaturbhir dasbhis yoganas tam pradhanikam vidur iti. So this 5, 5, 10 and 4, this group is called Pradhanik group, or group which comes from Pradhana or Prakriti. Pradhanad udbhutam ganam brahma brahmatvena upasyam vidur jnanini. So this group is also called Brahma. Brahman is usually the word used for the Supreme Lord or absolute reality, but this is also called Brahman. So therefore it says Panchbhir Brahma Chaturbhir Dasbhir. So this is also worshipped as the Lord. Okay, there is also universal form, Virat Swarupa, we have studied before. And Krishna also calls material nature as Brahma, Tasmin Brahma Mahadiyoni. Mamayonir Bahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadami. That this Brahman, which means Prakriti here, is my yoni, in which I impregnate. So the word Brahman is also used for Prakriti and its manifestation. There is also a statement in the Upanishad, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, that all this which you are seeing is Brahma. So that's why the word Brahman is being used here. एतानि चतुर्विंशतिर यस्मिन् स चतुर्विंशतिकस्तं गणं प्राधानिकं ब्रह्म. So he says that which has these groups of 24, that is called Pradhanik Brahma, which means that there are two types of Brahma. One is Adhyatmic Brahma, another is Pradhanik Brahma. One is the spiritual Brahma, and this is the material Brahma. Ganam Kidrisham Mahabhutani Chaturvinstiri Yatrata. So this group has 24. So why it is called Brahman? Because this is actually the potency of Brahman. Sometimes it is called Karya Brahman and Karan Brahman. This is the effect or manifestation of Brahman, and there is a cause, the Lord ultimately. So then he describes them in the next verse. Mahabhutani Panchaiva Bhurapagni Marunabha Tanmatrani Chatavanti Gandhadini Matani Me. So now he explains these 5, 5, 10 and 4. So first there are 5 Mahabhutas. These words are difficult to translate. Although we translate them as elements, but element has also other meanings. So these are called 5 Mahabhuta, or the great beings. They are the 5 living beings. And these are earth, water, fire, air and sky. So earth means the solid objects, all solid objects, then there is water, means all liquids, and then there is fire, Agni. So this includes both heat and light. Otherwise, what about light? So light and heat both are included in fire. And then there is air, all the gases, and then there is Nava, the sky. So these are the 5 bhutas, Mahabhutas. This is what we experience with our senses. And then there are 5 tanmatras, which are the qualities of smell, taste, form, touch and sound. So these 5 are called tanmatras, or these are the subtle form of these Mahabhutas. Mahabhutas become manifest from them. So usually in Nyaya philosophy we study that earth has fragrance in it. Earth is the object or substance, and fragrance is the quality, guna of that substance. And in Nyaya it is described that first the substance is produced and then the quality comes in it. But in Bhagavatam philosophy it is other way around. That first there is fragrance and then earth comes from that. So therefore fragrance is called tanmatra. Because it says Tavanti Gandhadini Matami Me. This is my opinion. Or another way of seeing it is that there is a tanmatra which is called fragrance, then there is earth, and then there is a quality of earth which is fragrance. So there is a tanmatra also called fragrance, and there is also quality of earth which is called fragrance. So then it becomes three things: tanmatra, and the substance which comes from the tanmatra, and the quality of that substance. And it is that quality which we experience in our senses. So there is not much commentary here. Just say that Tani Vigranoti Tribhi. But now these 24 things are being described in 3 verses. Let me explain that there are 5 tanmatras.
Excuse me, Prabhuji. Ether and sky are the same, right? It's just different terminology.
Yes.
And also these three things. Huh? I just slipped out, I couldn't catch it.
Indriyani Dasa Shrotram Tvagdesvasnanasikah Vakkarau Charnau Medram Payurudashama Uchyate. Then there are 10 senses. So which are 5 cognitive senses: the ear, the sense of hearing, and sense of touch, then sense of seeing, sense of taste, sense of smell. So these are 5 through which we sense what is outside in this world. Whatever we know only through these 5 senses. And our knowledge is actually limited only to this. When we hear, we see, we smell, we taste, we touch. So from touch you can come to know whether it is hot or cold, soft or hard. From seeing you can see different colors. From taste, 6 tastes are there, 7 colors. Sound, music, noise, 2 types. And fragrance, good and bad. So that's what we know. Then you have those senses with which you do the work. So there is sense of speech by which you talk. Talking is also work. Some people, they charge money for talking. And hands, walk karo. Hands are used for grasping things or releasing things. Holding. Then you have feet by which you walk, movement from one place to another. Then bedroom is genitals which are used for procreation, and payu is the anus for cleaning the body. So these are the 10 senses described here. Then there are 4 internal senses. Mano buddhir ahankaras chittam ityantaratmakam chaturdha lakshate bhedo vritya lakshana rupaya. So there is manas, which is mind, and he is going to explain the functions of these later on. Then there is buddhi, the intellect by which you discriminate, by which you fall asleep, dream, bewildered, All these things are function of buddhi. Then there is ahankara or material ego, which gives us our identity and sense of doership, agency, that I am the doer. So this is ahankara. And then there is chitta, for which there is no English word. We have not yet discovered the chitta. Modern psychology has come up only up to ahankara level. Beyond that there is chitta that is not known to them. Only they talk about unconscious mind. So basically unconscious mind, when they speak, that is the chitta. So he says these four are the antaratmak, means the internal senses. Senses within. And Chaturdha lakshate bhedo vritya lakshana rupya. So sometimes they are only counted as one, and they perform four different functions. But here they are defined as four separately because of their four distinct vrittis or functions. So in other philosophies, sometimes they talk of only two things, sometimes three. In the yoga philosophy, they only talk of chitta, chitta vritti. Chitta there means mind, chitta is chitta, chitta is ahankara. So they basically speak of one. So the word chitta is used in different senses. But here they have made it very clear that these are four separate and separate functions. So in Nyaya they have man, they don't talk of chitta at all. In Vedanta they have four. So antaratmakam antahakaranam. These are also called senses because with these also you are sensing inside, within. The senses inside, like happiness, distress, anger, fear, anxiety. All these things you feel inside, right? They are not felt from outside, they are only within you. From outside we get message through those external senses. And they are also external physically. They have their sitting places and they function when they come out. And they are also called internal because they physically also they are within. They are inside the heart and function through the brain. So in brain there are different parts which perform the function of all these four things. So we have the eyes which are on this body, which you can see. These are the instrument of the eye actually. It's not really the sense. The sense is inside, but this is the instrument through which that sense is working. So similarly we have mind, because usually people think that mind is in the head. But here according to Sankhya, mind is in the heart region, but it works through the brain. Brain is the physical instrument through which mind works. Just as this nose is the physical instrument through which the sense of smell is working. So when you have cold, you don't smell things. It does not mean that you have lost the sense of smell. The sense of smell is there, but this nose, because it is blocked, therefore the instrument is having some problem and you cannot smell. When somebody is blind, it's not that that person does not have sense of seeing, but the instrument through which to see is not proper. So blind people can also dream. And in the dream they can see, because the sense of seeing is inside, otherwise they will not dream. So these are called golaka in Sanskrit, or the instruments of the senses.
They don't have any shape.
Shape? What?
I mean, like,
They take the shape on the sense. Senses don't have shape, they take the shape of what they sense.
over the sense of it.
Vyavachedikaya vrittya. So vritti is that which makes the division. Vritti literally means existence or state. Vritti has got many meanings. Vritti also means business. Here it means function. So how do we distinguish between or among these internal senses? By their function. The external senses are easy to distinguish. Eyes, nose, ear, you can see the separate places from which they are working. But internal is all inside, and we are not sure. We only can feel that something we think from the brain, or we are making decisions from the brain. But how do we know whether it is mind working or intellect working or ego working or chitta? So it says only distinction you can make it by the function. Otherwise they all look like one. So that is the meaning of vrittya lakshana rupaya. This vritti or function itself is their definition. It is defined by that. Then he says, एतावानेव संख्यातो ब्रह्मणः सगुणस्य सन्निवेशो मया प्रोक्तो ये कालः पंचविंशकः. So he says that only this much has been defined as the Sagun Brahma. Two types of Brahman are there, Sagun Brahman, Nirgun Brahman, Karya Brahman, Karan Brahman, material Brahman, spiritual Brahman. So this is the Saguna Brahman or material Brahman, which has been only this much. That means you have Prakriti, Mahatattva, Ahankar, then you have mind, then you have 10 senses, Buddhi, 5 Tanmatra, 5 Mahabhutas. So this is the Sagun Brahman. This much is the manifestation of Sagun Brahman. And there are few other things also which are included in them. The direction is one. Where will you put direction? Because we have east, west, right? So it is included within space. Then time is there. So what time is going to talk? Then we have life airs, pranas, panchpranas. So all things which are not listed here and you will read, they have to be included in this 24. Sometimes there is also Sutratma, like Mahat. There is another element called Sutra. So that is part of Mahatana or Chitta. And actually Mahat is not mentioned here in this 24, so this Chitta and Mahat are one. because he did not mention math here. He had 10, 5, 5, 20 and then 4, 24. And 24 is only buddhi, ahankar, man and chitta. So where is math? So then math is to be included in chitta. So now he says that etavaneva sankhyato brahmane sagunas. Says that this sagun brahma includes only this much, is 24. And sanniveso maya prokto ye kala panchavis. It has been spoken by me. And then there is 25th is the time. So now about time there are two opinions. Because what is time? It is a very difficult question. So one opinion of time is that time is also part of Prakriti or matter. It is also one state of Prakriti. It is not separate element. So many philosophers include time within Prakriti. Some consider it as part of space. So time and space interrelated. Einstein also works on this, right? That if you increase the speed, then space contracts and time changes. If you can move at the speed of light, then you can go back in time. If somebody goes in the space and travels for few years, according to our calculations, 10-15 years, when he comes back, he may have actually aged only few months, because for him the time changes. That's why there is a story in Bhagavatam that Brahma, or there is actually a story of Lord Balaram. There is this king Revat. He was somewhere in Satyuga, and he had a daughter whose name was Revati. And he took his daughter with him to Lord Brahma to ask who is the suitable husband for her. So Brahma looked at him, and Brahma was not easily available. He has to take an appointment. So he waited there, and then when he got audience with Brahma, Brahma asked him, "Why have you come?" He says, "Well, I have my daughter, and since you are Brahma, you know past, present and future. Tell me whom she should marry, who is the suitable husband." Because Jyotish, right? In Jyotish they do calculations to find a good husband. And Brahma is the good Jyotish. So Brahma said, whom do you have in mind? So he counted some names, suitable kings who were existing when he left from earth. So Brahma laughed and he said that all these kings are dead and gone, and even their so many generations are finished. And if you really want, you hurry up, go down, and now Lord Balaram is there in Dwarka. So you can marry her to him. So he came running down. So for him only a small time has passed there in Brahmaloka, but here on earth millions of years have passed. So time is relative, because there things are running at a different speed. That's why Brahma lives 100 years, but his year is very long. So year is different according to the different speed of the planet on which you are living. So we have our own calculation of time. Therefore some people say that time therefore is not absolute. Good idea. Time is relative, and since it is relative, it must be material. So therefore it is counted here as 25th part of this Pradhan group. But there are others who have another opinion. So here the commentary is that Sagunasya Mahadadi Prapanchasya Kaletu Matdvayama. So there are two theories of time, two opinions. Ya Kalaha sa Panchavaskaha Prakritireva Avastha Visheshatyartha. That which is time, that is the 25th material element, which means that it is a special position of state of matter only, nothing different. And then there is the other opinion, which is actually the opinion of Bhagavatam. Prabhavam Paurusham Prahu Kalam Eke Yato Bhayam Ahankar Vimudasya Kartu Prakriti Miyushaha. Says that some people say that time is the prabhav or influence of God. It is his special type of energy. Because time is that which causes disturbance in matter. And if it is causing disturbance in matter, then it must be different from it. So therefore, it is counted as separate. You will read later on that it is time which causes the agitation in Prakriti, and then only the creation begins. So obviously it is coming from outside. It's not happening within Prakriti. Its influence may be such that then you can make calculations of time within Prakriti, but to begin with it is coming from externally. So therefore some people say that it is the prabhava of Purusha, Supreme Person, not just part of Prakriti. And one of its function is that it causes fear. Yato bhayam. Fear comes from time. Because in time we lose things. And we have fear of losing something. Whenever we have fear, means I'm going to lose something. Right? I can lose my life, I can lose my reputation, I can lose my friends, I can lose my job, something, I can lose my health, my beauty, my knowledge. So we have fear of that, losing, and that happens within time. We lose everything in time. In due course of time, everything will be lost. That's why time in Sanskrit is called Kala. Kalayati sarvamiti Kala, which takes away everything from you. And it's called Kala. For Krishna also said, Kalo asmi lokshaya praviddha. That time I am and I have come to destroy. Destroying means taking away. So he says, Yato bhayam, but fear is not to everyone. It's only to some people. And who are they? Says, Ahankar vimudasya kartuhu prakriti miyusha. Says that fear from time comes only to those people who are bewildered by the ahankar. Ahankar vimudasya kartu prakriti miyusha. So ahankar vimudha means those who are identifying with the material ego. We have our own real ego, and then we superimpose that onto the material ego, and then we consider that we are this material ego. Material ego is in relationship with the material body and material possessions. I and my. I am this and this is mine. So this is related with material ego. So once we have that, then fear comes, because then you have the fear of losing it. Because really speaking, it is not yours and you are not it. If I assume something which belongs to me when actually it does not belong to me, then one day it will be lost because it was not mine. So time will separate me from that object which I am thinking it is me. Time is always separating us. We get the physical body, we are born, and with birth, the death also takes birth. We are born along with our body and along with our death. So death is also eating our age, the time. So therefore Kala is also translated as death. So all the time is eating our lifespan. And therefore separating us from things which we think it is mine. And one day we will be separated from the body. And when you are separated from the body, then you lose everything. So then there is a fear. Therefore, fear of death is the original fear. Because fear of death is the fear of losing everything. You can lose other things, small things. You can lose your pen, maybe your cell phone. But when you lose your physical body itself, then you lose everything. So this is the biggest fear. All other fears are small babies of the fear of death. And this fear comes from time, Yatobhayam. Therefore Krishna, when he appeared in universal form, and Arjuna was fearful, looking at him, he says, please stop this. Because this was time. He had his mouth open, and everything was rushing inside his mouth. All these great heroes who were standing in the battlefield, they were rushing into his mouth, like the fireflies rush to the fire, and they are getting crushed under his teeth. So that is time. Krishna showed time, what time does. It destroys everything. So that is the cause of fear. But only for those who are bewildered by the ahankara. And how does this ahankara come into existence? It says, Kartu, first of all you think you are the doer. Already it was said few verses before that all the activities are happening in Prakriti, but we think we are the doer. And when you think you are the doer, then you have to get the result of that activity. And it may not come, or you will lose it. Then you get into trouble. And Prakriti Miyusha, because you identify with the Prakriti. So Atma is different, Prakriti is different. Atma has somehow approached Prakriti and come together and become fused with it. And then the fear starts. So in Bhagavatam later on, in 11th canto, it is said, Bhayam Dutiya Vinivestasya Abhisatapekasya Pariyasmati Tanmayata Muda Avadita. Bhaktya Ishya. So bhayam dvitiya abhinivesta syat. Fear comes when we become absorbed in the second, which is the body. Then we are removed from the Isha and forget who we are. And this all happens because of the Maya. So how to get rid of this Maya? Ato buddha abhajettam. So intelligent person should worship in the Supreme Person. Bhaktya ekya gurudayata. Worship the Guru, the teacher, the Lord in your heart. So this is the cause of fear. Prakriti niyusha. Oneness with Prakriti. So now from this next onwards, then he is going to speak how the Prakriti starts its manifestation of different elements. That we will read tomorrow. There is one question. So Sankhya is very interesting philosophy. Yes.
We were speaking about how one of the theories of time is that it's a special part of Purusha.
Yes.
It almost seems to me like it is opposite of Purusha because Purusha is putting the seed into Prakriti to create and time is
Because
taking
Purusha
away.
is?
Because Purusha is putting the seed to create and
Yes.
time is taking away. So is it opposite or is it part of
No, time is not taking away the Purusha. It is only separating from the physical body, not from the subtle body. You are remaining with the subtle body. That is one function of time. Because Purusha has got three functions. Creates, he maintains, he also destroys. All three functions belong to Purusha. He is not only creating, he is not only impregnating, he also kills. So this is the killing feature. Yes. Kala Purusha. Kal Bhairav. You heard of Kal Bhairav? He is one form of Shiva. Destroyer.
About these different speeds that they are related to the size also of the different dimension.
Size?
Yeah.
Size what?
I mean, Brahmaloka must be bigger
Why?
because it takes more time to. It's only time that it moves slower than.
It can be not big, it can be subtle.
It can be subtle.
Because if it has to move at a high speed, it must be more subtle.
So the earth is some kind of middle, subtle and a mixture. And then
Earth is what?
the earth,
Yeah.
and in this dimension, there are different quantities of ingredients. They are where the time is going to interact or move or destroy. Oh, this is only related to the whole Prakriti.
Time is going to influence and create all these elements in the
Okay.
Earth is the last one.
Okay.
Okay,
Earth
this
is
is
the
the
last.
heaviest one.
Okay.
Gravity comes on Earth. You have to see where the gravity will fit here in Sankhya. Any other question? moment.
I think I have another question. It's not belong. I don't know if this belongs to this. But sometimes we have